true crime with strategic eyes.
Strategic back again. Listen, guys, it's, what time is it? 3:16 a.m. Eastern time. I just got home from work, and I had to come and share this with you guys because so much has been happening tonight in this case of the missing child, Emmanuel Haro. A lot has happened. And we're going to have a live tomorrow where we're going to discuss some of these things. We're going to go through it. I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to definitely give you a very probative show tomorrow as we go through some of the things that have developed in the last few hours. I can't even say 24 hours. Like in the last 4 to 5 hours, so much has happened. But I had to come on, instead of being in bed right now, getting rest after working an entire shift, I had to come on and share with you a truth. A horrible truth. A truth that personifies how much our system failed Emmanuel Haro. I have been searching for evidence of what exactly Jake Haro did to his 10-week-old daughter. And finally, that evidence has been posted on the internet for all of our consumption. And I want to share that with you guys. First, I have to tell you it's a trigger warning, what you're going to see. Then I'm going to tell you the only reason why I'm showing you it on my platform is because I believe, I have not been told this, but I believe the fact that it's out there, that those pictures were given to a Facebook creator and an interview was given to that Facebook creator, that the family of these children want these photos out there. I think they want us all to see the monster that Jake Haro is. I had somebody in the chat debate me. They tried to come at me on a spiritual level. They said, Strategic, I think you're a Christian. I do talk about God often on this channel. Sometimes I talk about good and evil. These are things that I've experienced in my life. And they said, well, how can you be a Christian if you're always saying that these folks should get capital punishment? Only God can decide who lives and who dies. I don't have the answers. All I know is that we have free will on this planet. And actions should have consequences. And what we're about to see is the price that was paid for Jake's actions. A life has been stolen away. His daughter is a vegetable. She will never get married. She'll never graduate high school. She'll never smile, ladies and gentlemen, because of the actions of Jake Haro. Now, before we get started, guys, I want to address one more thing, which we're going to talk about tomorrow on a live. This is going to be a quick live because I'm already crashing. I'm already falling asleep. I feel my body shutting down because I'm tired. Been working all day. It's 3:20 in the morning Eastern time. I'm old. I don't stay up this late. I come home from work, get home around 2:30, and I go straight to bed after taking a shower. There was a fire today down in the community that the Harrises live in. We're going to look at the video from the amateur reporter who actually got the arsonist on camera. We're going to talk about this tomorrow, but I just want you to go to bed knowing, because some of you guys are on the Eastern time, you in bedtime with me. Some of you guys, you're getting close to your bedtime. I want you to understand this when you go to bed, that I don't believe in coincidences. I hope that the local law enforcement down there thoroughly investigate that motorhome that was set on fire, that ended up setting 2 actual houses on fire. I hope those homeless people understand that they're facing 15 years in prison for the property damage that they caused in the arsonist. But I don't believe in coincidences. I also don't know the culture down there. I don't know the local politics. I don't know how well the Horaces know the people who live in the building, in the house next door with the mobile home that was just randomly set on fire. I don't know. What I do know is that would be a great place to hide a body. What I also know is that police, without probable cause and a search warrant, can't just go on that person's property and start searching their motor home. I know that the police have searched the Horace's home up and down, front and center, left or right. They've searched every crevice of that property. But they ain't searched next door. What a coincidence that a motor home is set on fire by two homeless people that casually stroll away. And nobody who was out there who was interviewed, from what I could tell, said, hey, those homeless people were squatting in that motor home, or there was a dispute over kicking them off the property or whatever. Heard nothing of it. Motorhome on property, and mind you, this is a poor community. I'm not saying they can't own a motorhome or have one, but my imagination, and my friends tell me I got a big imagination. My imagination tell me most likely maybe that was a derelict motorhome. Could that be a place that you would hide a body? And if you did hide a body there, how much would it set you back in a very poor community to get a hold of two vagrant, drug-addicted individuals and say, hey, I'll give you X, Y, and Z if you set that motorhome on fire? Listen, this is just my opinion. I have no evidence of this whatsoever. I'm just telling you my theory. That's all it is a theory. I could be totally wrong. That's just how I'm feeling. Now, I told you guys it's going to be a quick live because I do have to get to bed. So we're going to jump into this, guys. So what did Jake do? Well, let's read about it. According to an affidavit written by Hemet police officer to obtain an arrest warrant, officers investigated a report that a 10-week-old girl had been admitted to Hemet Valley Hospital on October 13, 2018 for treatment of broken bones. So now we read all this. We're going to skip down to what he actually did to the baby. Doctors at Loma Linda University Medical Center told the officer who wrote the affidavit that the baby had an acute fractured rib, healing fractures of 6 ribs, a skull fracture, a brain hemorrhage, swelling of the neck, and a healing fractured leg bone. The combination of the above findings in a pre-mobile infant in the absence of a plausible history of significant trauma to explain the injuries is indicative of abuse, head trauma, child physical abuse, and nutritional neglect, the officer wrote, quoting the doctor. This is not the officer's words, it's the doctor's words. What is the outcome of what we just read? Well, this is the outcome. This is what happens when you allow a monster to procreate. The first child that they had, this monster, Jake, and his first wife, Vanessa, let me not say first wife, I don't know which wife it is, because these people seem to love to marry, and if you marry so much, I don't think you understand what love is. Love shouldn't be so willy-nilly that you can have 3 and 4, 5 different wives. It should be a once-in-a-lifetime thing, but sometimes it doesn't work out. Maybe a twice-in-a-lifetime thing. The first child they had fetal alcohol syndrome. We're going to read this, but I'm just telling you off the top of the dome, bring you up to speed. The first child they had fetal alcohol syndrome. The second child they had was this beautiful girl. Her name was Carolina. They changed her name since. Carolina, even though her mother was an alcoholic, Vanessa was an alcoholic allegedly, was born healthy, 100% healthy. The cutest little baby on the planet. Until her father beat her and put her in this position. This is Carolina in the hospital after Jake was done with her. It's Carolina out of the hospital with a neck brace on. We should never see a child looking like this. It's Carolina. That's what Jake did. That's what her father, her biological father, did. And this is the rest of her life. This is a more recent picture of this little girl. This is the rest of her life. She has 3% of her brain activity. Now, I want you to see something. We're going to put our detective hats on. Tell me what you see. Do you see similarities in the eye? They said that this little boy had a lazy eye. I want to get back to this picture. I thought we had one with her eyes open before she was assaulted. But look at her eye. Look at her eyes after her father caused a TBI. And look at her brother. I have another theory for you. First of all, it's 3:30 in the morning Eastern time, way past my bedtime, and we have 513 people watching this live stream right now, which is amazing. I'm definitely honored that you guys are joining me. The only thing I'm going to ask from you is that you please hit that like button. Support the channel so we can get into the algorithm. I have another theory for you, ladies and gentlemen. I believe, due to the failure of the California Child Protective Services. And listen, I said that California failed this child, Emmanuel. And some numbskull got political with me and said, oh, you sound very MAGA or something. What does politics have to, because I said California failed this child, somebody is putting political beliefs on me? I also said that Florida failed Madeline Soto by giving Stephen Stearns life in prison without the possibility of parole instead of giving him the death penalty for what he did to Madeline Soto. Why are we talking politics? Some of you people are sick. Some of you really are sick. Because of the inability of California's Child Protective Services to stop this man from having children. He got a second chance, ladies and gentlemen. He got a second chance. Now, this is my theory. A second chance to hurt, to maim, to kill. This is my theory. This guy hurts children. He can't help himself. It's like a thief. They have to steal. I'm not sure that baby Emmanuel passed away. And yes, I do believe that baby Emmanuel passed away. So I will talk about him. Unfortunately, it brings me no pleasure in doing that. But I will talk about him at times in the past tense because I do not believe that he's still with us. I don't believe he's still with us. I'm a practical person that lives in reality. Comes with the job. You got to live in reality when you're a detective. You got to accept reality. You got to accept the ugly in this world. I don't believe he's still with us. I'm not sure that there was any one thing that caused the ending of baby Emmanuel, which resulted in them having to get rid of the body. I'm not sure about that. Since we have pictures of baby Emmanuel looking like a totally normal child, I'm going to go ahead and bring those pictures up for you right now. I want you to see those pictures. Totally normal child. This is probably even better picture. Look at this one. Look at baby Emmanuel laying down, smiling, eyes look straight. Eyes look perfectly normal, not cockeyed, not cross-eyed, not lazy. He's smiling. He's moving his limbs. Look at him in that picture, brand new, doing exactly what a baby's supposed to do. Look him in this picture a little bit later. Where's my theory? They're like, Strategic, where's your theory, Strategic? Tell us the darn theory already. I think that they've been abusing the child over a course of period, course of conduct. They've been abusing this child for weeks and possibly for months. And just like that abuse came to a head with Carolina, where finally they were like, yo, we got to turn him in. We got to bring this baby to the hospital while she's going to pass away because we got crackles when we touch her. Her ribs are crackling when we touch her. That's what they said. It's not my words. I'm not sensationalizing this. These are their words. Crackles. Let me read it for you if you don't believe me. That night, Vanessa woke up Jake and asked him to feel the baby's back. He felt something crackle, the affidavit said. Jake told the investigator that he did not feel the crackle after bathing the infant. That's Jake's word. He characterized her bones as crackling to his touch. I think because of the level of trouble that they got in the first time they reported a child on the brink, I think when this child was on the brink, they decided to get rid of him. I think that he passed away due to a cumulative abuse that has been inflicted upon him since the very beginning of his life. That's why we see the slow descent from this vibrant, beautiful little boy to this very downtrodden, defeated, beautiful little boy, because his beauty never fades. No matter what Jake and Rebecca did to him, it will never diminish his light. It will never diminish his light. So he went from a beautiful, vibrant little boy to a beautiful, downtrodden little boy trying to survive the fact that he was birthed to two demons, in my opinion. Okay, so I could talk for 1,000 years, but I told you guys I got to do a quick live. So let me bring this back up and let me read what Abby Blabby, True Crime and News, who broke this. Big shout out to her. All credit goes to her. Let's read what she has to report on these pictures that to me are game changers in this case, because it shows us what Jake is capable of, and it follows the pattern. This is his MO. We cannot ignore it. This is Jake Haro's MO. We can't ignore it. And that is why the gauntlet is closing in on him and Rebecca via the local police department. They are the suspects. We're also hearing that Emmanuel's clothing was found in a dumpster. We're going to talk about that tomorrow too. That's why I don't want to go too crazy on this one, because this is a short live. Emmanuel's clothing was found in a dumpster. Number one, how many parents is in the room? We don't throw kids' clothing away. We donate it. I think that's like the only socially acceptable thing to do with baby clothing. You don't throw it away. And if the police found one bib or one onesie in the garbage, it's evidence, but it wouldn't be much of a big deal, especially if the onesie was dirty or stained or whatever. But apparently they found clothing, multiple items of clothing in the dumpster that belonged to Emmanuel. Why would they do that for unless they wanted to just get rid of the very memory of Emmanuel? Unless his clothing was treated like trash, which is the same way they treated him. Don't ever forget, ladies and gentlemen, we watched a mother and a father stand up before cameras asking and pleading for the return of their baby, and not one tear was shed. The most we got was the worst acting job of hyperventilation you've ever seen in your life. That's all you saw. Not one tear. These people did not value this boy. This boy was not developmentally challenged or delayed. This was a normal, healthy boy. That's what they said the doctors said. So what changed? What made him not normal and healthy anymore? What made him developmentally delayed? What changed? Well, I got an older crowd that follows me. I love it. There's going to be some young people in here, but for the most part, we're all old. We're in our 30s and 40s. We're dinosaurs. And 50s and 60s, some of us. I'm a dinosaur, you're a fossil. You guys remember our math? Not the new math, that Common Core stuff that the kids are taking right now. I'm talking about our math. When math was actually math that you could understand. Math that made sense. Math that put people on the moon. Math that gave us computers and the internet. Math that gave us microwaves. Not that new math that they're doing. Our math. Let's go back to math class. Our math class. What's the lowest common denominator in this whole story? What is the lowest common denominator in this whole story? Is it not Jake Haro? All these abused, wounded, maimed, and eventually deceased babies. Who is the only common person that weaves in that thread? Is it not Jake Haro? All right, let's keep going. Because like I said, man, once I get on my soapbox boxes, it's hard to get me off. All right. Big shout out to Abby Blabby, True Crime and News. She says on October 18, 2018, Jake Haro and Vanessa Avina's 10-week-old daughter was admitted to Hemet Valley Hospital after she was severely beaten. She barely survived. I was contacted by Avina's cousin, who adopted her and has taken care of her every day since the brutal attack. And I'd love to speak to that cousin. I'm not much of a Facebooker. We do have a Facebook presence, but it's really just to promote the show and get tips. But if you'd like to talk to me and come on my platform, I would love to give you my platform. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to talk about your journey with these children. It's not even just about this case. I want to hear about you because you are a hero to me, that you took on these children and gave them a safe home. You took them away from these demons they called their parents. Anyway, let's keep going. I was contacted by Vina's cousin, who adopted her and has taken care of her every day since the brutal attack. Promise Faith, formerly Carolina Rose. So Promise Faith is her new name. Formerly Carolina Rose turned 7 on July 31st. Happy belated birthday, you beautiful angel. As a result of what was done to Promise, she has to breathe using a tracheostomy. I can't pronounce it. I apologize. I think I'm a smart guy, but you can't be smart with everything, right? Tracheostomy, it sounds like is what it is. Tube, needing frequent suction so she doesn't suffocate on her own mucus. Think about the amount of work that these cousins, who are now basically parents, have to do to maintain this young girl, because just her own mucus could be her ending if it's not properly maintained and she's not properly taken care of. Let's keep going. She is blind. She is blind. She cannot walk. She cannot talk. She only has 3% of brain function left and is 100% dependent on all her cares. In addition to adopting their daughter, the cousin and her husband also adopted Jake and Vanessa's son, Carlos, formerly Jake Michelle Haro II. He gave him his name and couldn't even treat him good. Carlos, who is 8 years old, was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. How do you throw back a six-pack or some vodka when you know you have a precious baby angel growing inside of you? I don't know. Some people just built different. Some of you are just different. And I don't care to understand you. It's just irresponsible. I don't know. Let's keep going. All right. Vanessa received numerous DUIs while pregnant with promise, but miraculously, she was born healthy. God gave her a chance, man, and she threw it away. I'm talking about Vanessa. Drank all through the pregnancy, got arrested multiple times for drinking and driving, which means that she was drinking irresponsibly. She was getting drunk. She's putting too much alcohol in her blood system, which was being fed to the baby. But God made that baby persevere just for her to be birthed into a household where Jake and Vanessa, who were both convicted of abusing this child, would end up taking her future away. Let's keep going. I'm sorry I keep interjecting, but this is too emotional. Let's keep going. Vanessa received numerous DUIs while pregnant with promise, but miraculously, she was born healthy. All of her ailments began after she was beaten and abused, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, we have almost 1,000 people who are watching this live stream at 3:43 in the morning. Can we get some more likes? We do appreciate it. You might be tired like me, so you might be a little too tired to hit that like button, but we're asking for you to show that love. Hit that like button. After hearing the details of what he did to his daughter, I'm convinced more than ever that baby Emmanuel was never kidnapped and that Jake and Rebecca Haro know exactly where he is and what happened. And I want to add that I think the cousin and her husband are amazing, wonderful people. That's what Abby Blabby said. And one thing I can agree with Abby, I agree with everything she said, but I agree with her that the baby wasn't kidnapped and that Jake and Rebecca know exactly where he is and what happened. And I will add my own 2 cents and say that they killed that baby. The baby's no longer with us. So now let's watch those pictures. We'll look at the pictures in their entirety, and then we'll call it a day because I need sleep. I've been working all day. So this is her in the hospital during the incident after she was brought to the hospital by her parents, Jake and Vanessa, and it was discovered that they viciously abused this child. And I really don't even think that Vanessa did it. I think it was basically Jake. And I will tell you 2 more things. We'll talk about it tomorrow as well. But Jake is all about himself. Because when this happened, Jake lawyered up with the same lawyer that he has now. This lawyer has helped him in all of his criminal cases that we know of. And Jake turned against his ex-wife at the time that was his current wife, Vanessa. And he said that Vanessa was the one who did it and he didn't do it. And now Jake told his wife, his current wife, Rebecca, stop talking to the cops. Don't take a lie detector test till we get a lawyer. It's my understanding that the lawyer that he got, which is the same lawyer he had in his previous cases, is only his lawyer. That lawyer is not representing Rebecca. How much you want to bet that he's going to start trying to flip and say that Rebecca was the one who hurt the baby? Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going. And that lawyer is giving interviews and he's saying, oh, my client is 100% cooperative. I have made my client available to the police. They haven't taken up on an offer, but I've made my client available to the police. I can't speak for Rebecca. I don't know what's going on with her, but I know my client is cooperative and I've made him available to the police. So when people say that they're not cooperating, that is not true. What about Rebecca? The same thing that Jake did to Vanessa is the same thing he's trying to do now to Rebecca. He's going to leave her hanging out there to dry. He's going to blame this whole debacle on Rebecca. Maybe she deserves the blame. Maybe. I don't know. We don't know what happened. But based off of history, who is the common denominator, ladies and gentlemen? Is the common denominator in this trail of tears of abused, maimed, and possibly murdered children, is it not Jake Haro? Let's keep going. More pictures of this beautiful little girl who had her life and her future stolen away by her own father. It breaks my heart. 4 years and 10 days later, our adoption is finalized. Look at these beautiful people who have taken on these beautiful children. Good for them. Look at her. Look at her. She's smiling. Look at her. Her little teeth coming in. Yeah. I do believe in miracles. Maybe one day we'll get a miracle with that beautiful angel. Maybe one day Promise will prove us all wrong. Maybe she'll talk one day. Maybe she'll walk one day. Maybe she'll overcome. I pray. I pray. I had to share that with you guys. This is the reality of what we're dealing with. This is the obstacle that baby Emmanuel has to surmount. Why is it an obstacle? Because these are the people who are in his life. A father like Jake Haro. His attorney said that Jake is not running from his past. He acknowledges he has a criminal record for child cruelty, and he's not running. He's not running from his past. Well, we're not going to let you run. We're not going to let you run. I'll leave you guys with this because we're going to be talking about the attorney and what the attorney has to say and interviews and stuff like that tomorrow. Don't hate the attorney. Attorneys' jobs are to defend their clients. In our Constitution, I'm a big patriot. If you're new to this channel, I'm a big patriot. We don't talk politics here on True Crime with Strategic. We talk giving a voice to the voiceless. We talk about justice. That's what we talk about here. But I'm a big patriot. And being a patriot shouldn't come with a political ideology. We should all be patriots because we're in this beautiful country. And we're Americans, most of us. We do have an international audience, so if you're not American, we get it. In our Constitution, it doesn't say anything about your local prosecutor. It doesn't say anything about your district attorney. It doesn't say anything about your county attorney. The founding fathers understood that the government would have agents that would go after people who break the law. The founding fathers made it their duty to make us aware that there should be something called a defense attorney. They put that in the Constitution to keep our system fair so that when the government came after you, you were entitled to a competent defense against the power of the government. I love defense attorneys because they keep us honest so that when we lock people up for doing wrong, we can say that they had the best opportunity in the entire world, because I think our system is the best, to prove that they were innocent. So don't get mad at that defense attorney because he's defending the Haros. He's doing his job. He's doing his constitutional duty. When you see that prosecutor stand up before the court and try and send the bad guy to jail, that's not in the Constitution. It was implied in the Constitution, but it's not in the Constitution. When you see that defense attorney defending that cop, that evildoer, that's in the Constitution. So don't get mad at that defense attorney for doing his job. Get mad at Jake Haro for being a monster. Get mad at Rebecca, in my opinion, for being an enabler and a protector of a monster. Because once again, my theory is that Rebecca is a battered woman, and most likely it was Jake who took Emmanuel's life, and she's simply just defending her man. She's defending her man. So anyway, let me give a shout out to the people who have showed love to the show, and then we'll call it a day, guys. We're already at 30 minutes. I got to take a shower, then I got to go to bed, then I got to wake up tomorrow, spend some time with my kids, do the live. We pushed the live to 12 because when I was driving I was like, there's no way I'm doing this live at 11. So I pushed it to 12, do the live with you guys. Then after that, go to work. That's the life, right? All right. Fan funding. So we got a few people who joined us. We got Marcia Klepper, who's now a 4-month member of a recruit. Thank you so much. Empress 711 joined us as a recruit level. We do appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. And just a whole bunch of awesome people in the live. So I don't think I had any moderators, so I don't know if anybody said anything cool that I needed to highlight. I apologize for that. But we have 1,044 people in the room. Guys, please do me a favor. Hit that like button on your way out. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I think we could do it. We're going to try at least. There's going to be a lot of you who are watching this show right now. A lot of that thousands of people who are watching this show who have not hit the subscribe button. I do it. There's like some YouTubers that I watch all of their material and I realize I'm not even subscribed, but the algorithm shows me their videos because I watch them so much, but I'm not actually subscribed. So I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to the channel so that we can get to 1,000 subscribers. Once again, we have merch, but we don't push it on you. You hit the link tree, you want to see some of our cool merch, you can check it out. It's really awesome. We don't beg from you. We don't ask for your money. We sell you extra content on the membership and the Patreon and all. We don't beg here. The only thing we do here on True Crime and Strategic is give a voice to the voiceless. That's all we're asking. So we're asking for you to support us so that a wider audience can see what we're doing here, which is basically fighting for justice for people who can't fight for justice for themselves. Right now, baby Emmanuel can't fight for justice for himself, so it's all of our job, everybody, to fight for him. Two more things and then we're done. Lacey Scalia gave me a $1.99 super sticker, says thank you. New here, thank you and welcome, appreciate you. And Teresa 05 or 015 is now a patrol member. Thank you and welcome, Teresa, to True Crime with Strategic. Guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me get that outro ready. Strategic is out of here. Peace.